Welcome guys. Today's lecture is on COVID-19, the vaccine testing process. This video explains the various aspects of vaccine developing with reference to SARS coronavirus 2. Watch full video. You will get a clear idea about the various vaccines and its pros and cons against COVID-19 virus and protection from it. The contents of this lecture are as follows. 1. What is a vaccine? 2. Different approaches to COVID vaccine. 3. Vaccines authorized by FDA. 4. 2 more vaccines under consideration. 5. Other vaccines under trial. 6. Comparing some vaccines. 7. Leading vaccines. 8. Vaccine testing process. Okay, let us go ahead. First, let me talk about what is vaccine? According to WebMed, vaccines are a substance that helps protect against certain diseases. Vaccines contain a dead or weakened version of a microbe, here virus. It helps our immune system recognize and destroy the living microbe during a future infection. So, vaccines are different types. Before dealing different types of vaccines, let me talk about some keyword related with vaccines. Let us understand the key words: immunity, vaccination and immunization. First, what is immunity? It is the protection of body from an infectious disease. If a person is immune to a disease, he or she can be exposed to it without causing the disease. The second one is vaccination. It is the process of inoculating the vaccine into the body of a person in order to produce resistance or immunity to a specific disease. The next word is immunization. It is a process by which a person getting protected against a disease by vaccination. The term vaccination is used interchangeably with inoculation. Let us look on various approaches to COVID-19 vaccines development. There are 3 approaches. 1. Whole virus or pathogen. 2. Part of the virus that trigger immune response. 3. Genetic material that instruct to produce a particular protein. Next, we can examine each of these in short. First, we can examine the whole pathogen. It may be further classified into 3 types, according to the nature of pathogen in the vaccine. 1. Inactivated vaccine. It involves an activated or killed pathogen. The killing may be done by heat or chemicals. Vaccine for flu and polio are made by this method. It helps to produce large-scale vaccine. It require long time, safe laboratory, and to be administered 2 or 3 doses. 2. Live attenuated. Here, live virus is used, but are weakened, so that it cannot cause the disease in full-fledged form. Measles, mumps, rubella, that is MMR, chickenpox, and shingles vaccine are this type 1. It also allows to produce in large scale, but not suitable for compromised immune people. 3. Viral vector. Here, vectors are used to transfer part of the virus into human to elicit immune response without causing disease. Ebola vaccine belongs to this category. This can be developed rapidly. Yes, then, we go to the type vaccine. The second type vaccine is subunit vaccine. Here, only a part or subunit of the virus is used that trigger immune response. The subunit may be protein or sugar. Most of the vaccine administered in childhood are subunit vaccines, like whooping cough, tetanus, diphtheria, and meningococcal meningitis. The diagram showing the subunits loosely arranged. The third type vaccine is one that contains genetic material. It is a new approach to make vaccines. Previously, this type of vaccine is permitted only for some type of cancer undergoing human trials. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's immediate attention needed, permission is granted are this type of vaccines, and human trials, beyond clinical trials. Vaccines typically require years of research and testing before reaching the clinic, but in 2020, scientists embarked on a race to produce safe and effective coronavirus vaccines in record time. Researchers are currently testing 79 vaccines in clinical trials on humans, and 23 have reached the final stages of testing. At least 77 preclinical vaccines are under active investigation in animals. 3 vaccines approved by FDA EUA. 1. Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine. First COVID-19 vaccine to receive an FDA EUA. Emergency use in US and other countries. It is recommended anyone 16 and older. Dosage of 2 shots of 21 days apart. One of demerit is, it should be transported in ultra-cold temperature, control unit, -94°F. After administration, it may cause chill, headache, pain, tiredness, or redness, or swelling at the site injection. All of these generally resolve within 1 or 2 days. If symptoms don't resolve within 72 hours, medication, like acetaminophen, may administer. 11 in 18 million vaccination caused anaphylaxis, which can be treated epinephrine. So the vaccinator should monitor it for every 15 minutes, or 30 minutes, if allergic history present. This vaccine works in such a way that a small piece of genetic code from SARS CoV-2 is inserted into the host cell in the body. The cell, which receives the code, will produce spike protein. The spike penetrates and infecting the host cell. This protein stimulates the production of antibodies and produce memory cells. The memory cells will encounter the actual virus during the infection and protect the body, form COVID-19 infection. It is 95 to 100% effective in preventing severe disease. 2. Moderna. It is the second one sanctioned by FDA EUA. It is also RNA vaccine, similar to Pfizer-BioNTech, but it can be stored for 30 days under normal refrigeration. It is less effective. Emergency use in US and other countries. Suitable for 18 years and above. The working and side effects are similar to Pfizer-BioNTech. Its efficiency is 86.4% people 65 and above. The third one is Johnson & Johnson. It is a carrier or virus vaccine. It require normal freezer to store and require only 1 shot. Emergency use in US and other countries. It is recommended to anyone 16 and older. Side effect and working is near about same as other two. Its efficiency is 64 to 82%. 2 more vaccines are 1. Oxford AstraZeneca. It is cheaper, can be stored and transported, normal refrigeration, for at least 6 months. Some country restricted its use due to blood clots observed in some cases. But WHO and EMA continue to endorse the vaccine. Not available in USA but approved for emergency use in other countries. Recommended for adults 18 and older. 2 doses, 4 to 12 weeks apart. Side effects are same as other vaccines in use. It is a carrier vaccine made from a modified version of a harmless adenovirus. The final product contains spike protein found in SARS coronavirus 2. It stimulate immune system and produce antibodies and memory cells. The company also said the vaccine was 85% effective in preventing COVID-19 in people over 65. The second one is Novobax. It has been shown to be effective not only against COVID-19, but also against the mutants have emerged in Great Britain and South Africa. Unlike other vaccine, it isn't a protein adjuvant. It is also simpler to make and can be stored in a refrigerator. It is still completing Clinical trials. The vaccine is being studied in adults, ages 18 to 84. It is administered as 2 doses, 3 weeks apart. Side effects are not clear yet. It contains spike protein of coronavirus in nanoparticle form that stimulate immune system to produce antibodies and T-cell immune responses. Its efficiency is 89.3%. Besides all these, the other vaccine candidates are 1. ZyCov-Di, being developed by Ahmedabad-based Zydus Cadila. 2. A vaccine being developed by Hyderabad-based Biologically Limited, the first Indian private vaccine-making company, in collaboration with US-based Dynavax and Baylor College of Medicine. 3. HGCO19, India's first mRNA vaccine, made by Pune-based Genova, in collaboration with Seattle-based HDT-Biotech Corporation, using bits of genetic code to cause an immune response. 4. A nasal vaccine by Pfizer-BioNTech. 5. The Sputnik V vaccine candidate, developed by Dr. Reddy's Lab and Gamaleya National Center in Russia. 6. A second vaccine, being developed by Serum Institute of India and American vaccine development company Novobax. Now, let us examine a comparative details of some approved vaccines all over the world. See the table and make clear the differences between various vaccines available. Oxford Uni AstraZeneca and Gamely or Sputnik V are viral vector vaccines. But Gamely have effectiveness more than AstraZeneca. Moderna and Pfizer-BioNTech are RNA vaccines, both having effectiveness identical. All these vaccines need 2 doses. Oxford Uni AstraZeneca and Gamely or Sputnik V can store at normal refrigerator. Moderna can store at -20 degrees centigrade for about 6 months. Pfizer-BioNTech can store at -70 degrees centigrade. Moderna is most costly, and AstraZeneca cheap. Let us examine different vaccines, its developer, how it works, at which phase it is trial and its status. Pfizer-BioNTech are mRNA vaccines. Vector Institute and Novobax are protein vaccines. Sinopharm, Sinovac, Sinopharm Wuhan, and Bharat Biotech are inactivated pathogen vaccines. Gamaleya is a D26, AD5 vaccine. CanSino is also AD5 vaccine. Johnson & Johnson is AD25 vaccine. AstraZeneca is CNADOX1 vaccine. Some of them are in second phase, and some others in third phase. Some are approved in some countries, and some are not. Now, let us look on the vaccine developing process. The diagram gives a clue that how vaccine development cycle took place from lab to clinic. First, let us look phase 1 to 3. Preclinical test. Scientists test a new vaccine on cells, and then give it to animals, such as mice or monkeys, to see if it produces an immune response. Phase I. Safety trials. Scientists give the vaccine to a small number of people to test safety and dosage, as well as to confirm that it stimulates the immune system. Phase 2. Expanded trials. Scientists give the vaccine to hundreds of people, splits into groups, such as children and elderly, to see if the vaccine acts differently in them. These trials further test the vaccine's safety. Phase 3. Effectivity trials. Scientists give the vaccine to thousands of people and wait to see how many become infected, compared with volunteers who received a placebo. These trials can determine if the vaccine protects against the coronavirus, measuring what's known as the efficacy rate. These 3 trials are also large enough to reveal evidence of relatively rare effects. The final stage is approval or abandoned. Early or limited approval. Many countries have procedures for providing emergency authorization for vaccines based on preliminary evidence. that they are safe and effective. In addition, some countries, such as China and Russia, began administering vaccines before detailed phase 3 trial data was made public. Experts have warned of serious risk from jumping ahead of these results. Approval: regulators review the complete trial results and plans for a vaccine's manufacturing and decide to give it full approval. Combined phases: one way to accelerate vaccine development is to combine phases. Some vaccines are now in phase half trials. For example, which this tracker would count as both phase 1 and phase 2. Paused or abandoned: if investigators observe worrying symptoms in volunteers, they can pause the trial. After an investigation, the trials may resume or abandon. Thank you.